When it comes to Chapter 3, the mystery that everyone is talking about asks just one question: who is the Herald? This villain appeared in last season's trailer and nobody knew what was going to happen next, and then the Herald appeared with an army of Chrome. She set up her own Sanctum POI and has become the most important character of the entire season. She's even the secret skin. And thanks to this set, we've gotten closer to answering the mystery of the Herald. Her cosmetics talk about the Nothing, teasing that it is coming and how it will bring total darkness to the island. She is extremely similar to the Cube Queen from Chapter 2. They both brought a mysterious army, have a creepy music pack, and they want to destroy everything. And in a secret piece of dialogue, we learn that she's heralding something and it's gonna consume everything, including her. Of course, this overarching villain is the Nothing, which includes a huge twist that we'll get into later, but for now, you need to hear one of the biggest mysteries in Fortnite history that's finally been answered. For years, the Imagined Order has been extremely confusing. At first, we thought they were helping us, then we were betrayed, and since then, the IO has been the true villain of the storyline until now. Everything we thought we knew about these guys was a lie, including what happened to them. It seemed very sudden. We defeated the IO in the collision event, but never saw what happened to Geno, Sloan, or even Gunner. They all completely vanished. Now, luckily, Fortnite has confirmed what happened to all three of them. It turns out that in the collision event, there are a lot of hidden Marvel characters like Wolverine Zero and Iron Man, but we also had Dr. Doom in the fight, and he betrayed the Imagined Order so he could steal the powerful technology. Well, Gunner tries to stop Doom, but gets put out of his misery, and this seems like the end of his story, and so with one down, there are two to go. We watched in the event as Sloan's tank was struck by the mech, but it still wasn't clear enough. Did she survive? Judging from the comics, I think we could safely say this version of her was killed off, but who knows? Maybe this was a snapshot of Sloan. Jones says that she was never like this, so maybe the real Sloan is still out there. And so that brings us to the final reveal. Thanks to the arrival of the Herald, we have learned that this whole time, the Imagined Order were never the villains. They were actually trying to do the right thing and protect the island from the Nothing. Although with what we're about to tell you, it is safe to say they're not exactly the good guys either. Their true plans and what it means for the future of Fortnite was revealed with the mystery of Geno. His name was first mentioned by the Foundation in Chapter 2, and nobody knew who or what Geno was. Some speculated that it was a place, while others thought he was a missing member of the Seven. Over time, more information came out, with the Foundation revealing that Geno was the leader of the Imagined Order. We had teases throughout Chapter 2 showing Geno and Sloan shaking hands, but everything was answered in Chapter 3. We learned that Geno had two daughters who were designed to be genetically perfect. They had superpowers and immortality. These twins eventually turned out to be weaker than he realized, and Geno replaced them with stronger snapshots. So they left and joined the Seven, becoming the Imagined and the Order. This reveals his plan for the past 5 years. Geno and the IO have been trying to make a perfect society, kidnapping people from across the multiverse using the power of the Zero Point. They want to find the best warriors, scientists, intelligent minds, and a lot more, and they do that using the loop. All of this was single-handedly the most confusing part of the storyline, and now that it's cleared up, it's obvious why Geno is a villain. And even though we watch him die in the Zero War comics, there's one last page left to read. He is not dead, and he might return stronger than ever. Which leads us to a mystery that has the entire community split down the middle. You've seen how the Herald and the Cube Queen are similar, and you've heard about the Nothing, but what you might not know is that there's a leaked map for next season known as Asteria. Originally, people thought this was something to do with Creative 2.0, but it was marked under Season 23, which begins in December, and it also has a classic Greek code name that all of the Battle Royale islands have used. With all of this evidence, it's an obvious conclusion that we could actually be thrown into Chapter 4 next season. Now, some insiders have said it won't be called that, so with this leaked map and the fact that there will be a 2-day downtime, who knows what'll happen. Something that needs answers is the whereabouts of the Seven. Every single member vanished without a trace last season, and we watched as the last of them were consumed by Chrome. I mean, it was pretty graphic. The only person left is the Paradigm, but we just want to know what actually happened to the Seven. In the tapes left by the scientist, he says he doesn't know where he is or if he'll be back, so when you get consumed by Chrome, does it take you to the Nothing? But this exact same tape answered another mystery which nobody ever expected. At the end, as he's cut off, the scientist says,
"I'm sorry it ended like this.
in the static, you could actually hear the words, "I have always loved you." It explains why he always stuck up for her when the rest of the Seven felt betrayed. And he also lied to the Foundation to get them to save the mech. He pretended that the Paradigm was dead so they would go and save the famous robot. Although whether this love goes anywhere, we'll have to see. It seems pretty one-sided for now, but who knows. I think we're all sick of talking about Colombo by now, but thanks to an insane leak, it turns out he might have been evil this whole time. For the past few months, the biggest question about Colombo was his design. Even though he released 2 seasons before the reality tree, he had the exact same colors and patterns as the biome. This has become even weirder with season 4 as the Herald looks way too similar. Was Colombo created by the nothing? Is this innocent little creature actually evil? Well, a new leak has confirmed that flying animals will be coming to the game this season, and they'll be rideable. So if the Herald is raising an army, flying Colombos could definitely be a part of it. And it sounds ridiculous, but this is Fortnite, so anything could happen. So at this point, I think we all have one question: what is the nothing? We obviously don't know for certain, but there's clues out there, and it was even brought up all the way back in chapter 1. Is the nothing the black hole, or was this a portal leading to the nothing? Some people think it's a villain like the last reality, and it looks like we are only a couple months away from finding the truth. But for now, we need to move our attention to the cube problem. This is officially the longest running mystery in all of Fortnite, and it's still unsolved to this day. Kevin the Cube first appeared in 2018, causing the butterfly event and exploding. Then he reappeared in Season X as the floating island. A few years later, we saw the official return of the cube in Operation Skyfire, when it was revealed that they were part of the last reality. But now it has gotten weird. We were able to free one of the cubes from the queen, and it turned blue, helping us to fight off the army. So we have purple, blue, and gold. These same colors were seen on Rift butterflies in chapter 3, but recently a red butterfly began to appear. We've also seen in-game teases like this back bling and the Easter egg at the Joneses POI, which both hint at a fourth cube. So who does this red cube belong to, or could this just be Epic trolling us? What we do know is that the Paradigm is now the center of a huge plot hole which is yet to be answered. With Epic changing the storyline, they made Singularity a separate character to the Paradigm. That created a few questions, but thanks to the Season 4 trailer, we have even more. She travels to Reality 659 and has been sending messages to us since then. We have no idea what 659 is for certain. It's implied that this is Paradigm's homeworld, as it's included in her outfit name and was even referenced in the Zero War comics. Apparently, her homeworld has a relationship with technology, so maybe she went there to try and find a way to stop the nothing. It also makes us wonder what is happening with the Foundation. He was one of the first members to disappear, and when we went looking for him, we found his helmet. It was near a statue, and if you go to the same place in Season 4, you'll now see that it's entirely covered in chrome, except for one part, the bunker door. It has been sealed shut for the entirety of Chapter 3, and is completely undisturbed. It means that chrome hasn't been able to get inside the statue, so maybe someone is still in there. Really hope we get to see what's through this door someday. And well, luckily Fortnite showed us something even more incredible in Chapter 3. The backstory of John Jones has finally been revealed, and it's insanely tragic. For years, this man was a complete mystery. We didn't know what he wanted or where he came from. Over time, we watched Jones abandon the IO and join the Seven, but there was still a huge question about his backstory. For someone who's been the face of Fortnite for 10 years, we knew nothing about him. Thankfully, Epic revealed that he actually had a family in the past. When he joined the Imagined Order, he was offered immortality, but he had to live on the island. His family refused, staying in their dangerous homeworld instead. The IO offered them protection for as long as they lived, but they eventually died of old age. It has been decades since, and Jones has stayed the same age, staying with the IO to protect family members he had never even met. But this gets even more interesting. After the collision event, Jones says that he and Sloan had a lot of history, and she wasn't always like that. Then he brings up his family, asking if they would recognize what he's become. Spider-Man says they'd be proud of him because he's asking himself the same question, and I mean, man, this game is just really sad. And so while we're all focused on Jones's backstory, it looks like Fortnite has forgotten one of the most famous characters of Chapter 2. Every season we get a new teaser from Midas, whether it's secret NPC dialogue or a sketch from Donald Mustard. And yet we also get disappointment. They've been teasing his return for years and nothing has happened, despite Midas appearing in tons of item shop sets and bundles. They tried to tell the story of Midas through the first Shadows trailer, but after the first one was released, Epic deleted it within hours. And since then, Midas' story has been completely wiped from the internet. We'll never know why these trailers were deleted, and it is undeniably the most unsolved question in Fortnite history. Did Epic change their mind at the last minute, or are there bigger plans for Midas? Or maybe, is it time to let go of this mystery once and for all? Hope you guys enjoyed. It's been Tommy, and keep it here on Top 5 Gaming. Also, if I sound a little bit different, I'm traveling right now, and I just really wanted to make this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed.